What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome in each and every one of you that has ascended. Bring in your tribe's name and color and stand and show it proud. I have ascended. I hope that you have received the city's blessing and that your name is in a bright golden color on the standing sheet. That's right. This is Hunt the Week. It is a weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku, or go home. I am a 3-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and 1 time I did Mega Draft commentary with Adam S. Wisma for Wilds of Eldraine Mega Draft. That's right, that happened. That happened last week. I guess it happened on Sunday. This week, last week. It's all a blur at this point. But we had our Wilds of Eldraine Mega Draft. We got the winner, Rafael F. Prudent. He's a polarizing figure, but boy does he play some good Magic, and he's coming on the show later to talk about it. But we can't talk too much about Wilds of Eldraine. We're here to talk about Ixalan League. And how is that going for everyone? Who has ascended? If you make it to week 3, it's a 3-week league. You get your bonus pack of all rares, and boy, isn't that exciting. I was complaining and, woeing about that I wasn't going to get it and I'm not doing well. And I don't know. I just want to get this fun mechanic. Did I get it? Well, let's find out as we go out to sea.
Soon may a Williman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the time is done, we'll take our leave and go.
That's right, everyone. We are in Ixalan League. Week 2 is wrapping up, and we are getting ready for week 3 so we can name our top 8 and have our Ixalan Mega Draft. As I record, it is 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, and this is your Ixalan top 8. Cody Race, back where he belongs, at the top, 9-1. Steve T. Strout, 8-2. Jack H. Rakic, having another great league, 7-3. Jordan M. J.M. Tron can't have a bad league, 7-3. Maxime Tassiger, Maxime's back, and boy is this top 8 stacked. Holy cow. Tassiger, 7-3. Sawyer T. Soyboy, 7-3. Miranda L. Black Canary, 6-2. And Pedro D. Gumbasa, 6-3. Pedro D., a good friend with Rakic. They're happy to see themselves up there in the top. 2 buddies having some great leagues. And they got 1 more week to figure out, will they make it? Well, what's going to happen? Who is going to be there? And yeah, this is a stacked top 8, man. This thing is crazy. These players are all insane. I went 4-1 this week, and I have ascended and received the city's blessing. I was the first person to ascend. I knocked out all my games Friday, Saturday, lost my first game to Dan A., the beatdown bringer, came on the show, met him in person. Lovely person. What a wonderful person, but he gave me a loss. And then I went 4-0 in the rest of my games. You know why? Because Dan A., beatdown bringer, opened me a hostage taker. And we're just taking hostages left and right now. Finally got some power that my deck needed. And, 4-1. Feeling good about it. Our only 5-0 player on the week. Well, they went 5-1, but 5-win player is Chris R. Sinkwater. League winner, Neo Partner League, in Runaway Team King. Congrats, Chris. Chris was sitting there, 2-3? Was not having a very good league. No, 1-3? Ooh, Chris was 1-3. Went 5-1 to be 6-4 in the top 16. Ascended. This mechanic is super cool. I was kind of worried that these packs were going to be just broken and everyone was going to just get pushed too far. But I've noticed, and from what I've been seeing, basically I don't know if it's making anybody switch colors. I'd be interested to hear about that. Where if anyone's just going for some crazy splashes now that they have all these extra rares, but I'm basically just adding, 2 to 3 rares to my current deck, and I'm fine with it. I think it's great. I opened some cards I like a lot. I didn't open anything too crazy. Some people are opening up some crazy stuff. But such a cool league, right? I love the concept of this league, and I love it so much because I was able to enjoy the mechanic, right? If I went 4-6, I might not be speaking its praises so highly, although I have really enjoyed the cube. I think they did a great job with adding in the bonus cards. I've really enjoyed a lot of the bonus cards, and I think I don't know, this is the best form of Ixalan I think I've played, so I'm really enjoying it. And of course, I won this week, so that doesn't hurt. But I have ascended 6-4 in the big lump of 6-4s that range from 9 all the way down to 21st place. We'll see who makes the top 8, who makes the mega draft, and who will be our Ixalan winner as we get ready for week 3 with all these crazy strong packs and all these pools that just got better and better. Don't sit on your games this week. This is not the week to hold 1 or 2 games over. It's not going to be a good time for you next week. And we got Johnny's Brawl side event starting right now. If you're playing in that, good luck to you. There's a round robin and a 2 elimination bracket. I've already received 1 loss. I will probably get eliminated very quickly. We got to talk about this bug. I wasn't able to get any of my practice games in for this Brawl thing because I've been getting the bug. And then I mentioned on the podcast last week, all these people aren't playing their games. I'm dumb. It's because of the bug. I was out of town. I never had to deal with it. Now I'm back, and I'm watching this bug just constantly get in the way of people's games. People are dropping out of the league because it's so frustrating. They only have so much time to try and play, and you try and play someone, it's like, oh, I got the bug. Well, I'll try and play someone else. And now they got the bug. This thing is ridiculous. It's really... It's almost contagious. I watched for like 2 hours the other day. No one could play a game. Everyone just kept trying. And this bug is bad. It's really bad specifically for our league and the way that we play. That's a little crazy. That's a little wild. And I want to give a heads up to people who are looking to maybe make the mega draft, people who think that they might be top 8ing this thing. Please pay attention to the rules. I know that they are going to do a vote, and then the most picked time will be the mega draft day, but the mega draft as of right now set for the release day of Caverns because the mega draft will be using Caverns of Ixalan cards. Please make sure you have either some wild cards available or some packs to crack. I don't know, but you're going to be opening up some Ixalan Caverns packs, so be prepared for that before it gets here. And, just know that it's the new set. No one's really going to know what's going on. I think that makes it really fun. I hope there's no extra glitches or bugs that come up because it might be on release day. But I doubt it. I doubt it's actually on the Tuesday. They'll probably find a nice weekend day for everybody. Maybe give everyone a little bit of time to get some of the cards just so that it's not, a wild grab bag. Because that would make me mad. Not only would that make me mad, that would make me enraged. So let's go ahead and get enraged this week.
I've contained my rage for as long as possible, but I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves. Begone, vile man, begone from me. I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week, I got enraged with none other than Rafael F. Prudent, your Wilds of Eldraine League winner. He's come on the podcast more than anybody at this point, I think. He came on earlier in Wilds of Eldraine League, debated Cody Race on Mom vs. Wopack. Came in right before Player of the Year when he won Lord of the Rings League. Came on during Lord of the Rings League. He's been coming on a lot. He don't need no introduction. He's the killer of Stips and the killer of Mega Drafts, apparently. So let's go ahead and speak to Rafael F. right now. All right, everyone, join me as we get enraged. Enraged, very angry. That's what it is. That's what the slogan is this time around. As we get enraged with none other than Rafael F. Prudent. Raf, welcome to the show.
Hey, listen, man. I'm curious. Enraged. What does this mean? Is this like a new mechanic?
It's an Ixalan mechanic. You're not playing Ixalan, man. Enraged. When a creature is damage, it causes a triggered ability.
I forgot the dinos, old school Ixalan. I dropped so early that I don't know what anything does, and I didn't play Ixalan.
We're gonna get there. This guy drops out of Ixalan because he doesn't want to mess up his chance for making Player of the Year. then wins Bow League. So he could have played at Ixalan no problem, but he like psyched himself out.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Everyone, welcome to the show, Rafael. Congratulations on your Wilds of Eldraine League win, man. Such a big win for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it felt fun. You know, it felt like a very, very fun ride. Like the deck wasn't as fun as my Lord of the Ring like wonky deck, but I mean, it definitely got there, and I'm really surprised I played the colors the way I did.
Well, I can't wait to get into it because I was lucky enough to do the commentary, and I was there for all of it, man. So I can talk to you about every single thing. I watched every game. I commentated on it. Before we get to the Mega Draft, though, I'd love to know about your Wilds of Eldraine experience. You came on early on the show, week 1, talked about the Woe versus Mom debate with Cody. You sided Woe. You stuck it out. You got to the top 8. What was it about Woe that helped you get there?
Luck, man, luck. Same thing I said before, you know, like let's be honest with ourselves. We can't say Woe was really that much better than Mom, right? I think most of the top 16 was dictated by mainly all Mom packs. I mean, even going against a Mom deck, like if you had mainly Woe cards, it just felt like a really uphill battle. And I just got lucky that I think I only played like 2 like Woe versus Mom matchups in week 6. And I was lucky they stumbled just hard enough for me like to slam an Ashiok or just jam enough damage down so I could like easily close the game out with a Sweet Tooth Witch or something like that. But it's not like, you know, my deck was like some super cracked thing. Like Jordan's deck was cracked. Jordan had the Woe deck.
Oh yeah, Jordan had the enchantment copy rare and all kinds of little shenanigans. But if you got an Ashiok, I mean that's pretty good too. I mean, as far as Woe bombs go, I mean that's up there.
It just felt like some weird garbage graveyard recursion aggro deck. Like I think I just play a lot of aggro. It's just the kind of guy
big surprise. Raph played an aggro deck. I mean,
I know, right?
It's hard to not play an aggro deck in Woe, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that's really your only way to, like, really to beat a Mom deck. Like I think week 2 or 3, I played Rich, and he only had like 2 or 3 packs of Mom, maybe 4, but he absolutely crushed me. Anything big landed. Like I saw his one match versus somebody else in the league. What's that big old Convoke green dummy thing that gets bigger?
No, I don't know. Big dumb. I don't know.
Let's just call him Big Dumb Green Guy.
Oh, yeah, Big Dumb Green Guy. I mean, it sounds like a Big Dumb Green Guy. Editor's note. I have not confirmed this with Raphael, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about Ancient Imperiosaur.
But between his Halo Foragers, you know, like that deck is cracked.
I played against a few Mom decks in the later weeks, and yeah, as an all Woe player, I definitely felt like I had made the wrong choice when it got to week 4.
Like you have no margin for error, right?
Yeah, it's like you just have to be like super. You have to curve out, be super aggressive, and just hope that they like are as slow as they are. Because if they go to turn 6, 7, 8, you're probably not coming back from that game.
Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of value associated with it. Like I was lucky my deck had value and like most of my creatures. So like, you know, I think in one of the games, I think someone was playing Incubation. And incubation is kind of a slower mechanic. Like you play the card, you get the incubation, but you still have to pay 2 mana to flip the incubation, which gives me a chance to like jam some damage down for a turn or 2.
And jam some damage down. You did. You made it through Wilds of Eldraine Gauntlet, got to the top 8 where you drafted a Simic aggro deck of all things. My first question for you is, when did you know you were in an artifact deck? When did that occur to you?
So it's not that I was ever in an artifact deck, because Richard was asking me the same thing. He was like, you know, you had a bunch of artifacts, right? And I was like, if I go through the deck and count, I think it's about like 6 or 7 artifacts. It's just they work really well together. But I mean, one of the biggest things that you saw in like a lot of my games is Unctus himself turns a lot of my other things into artifacts.
Oh yeah, Unctus was. It's funny because when you drafted Unctus and compared to your other rares, I was like, Unctus is the not as good rare we hadn't seen yet because you had played the Sky Strike Officer and C double a lot in the early games. I was like, we're not even seeing Unctus, and that one's not as good as these. And then Unctus came around and made those other 2 ones look, you know, like not as good. It's like Unctus is like, yeah, your guy makes 1/1s, now they're 2/2s, and it's like, oh, now you're rummaging through your deck. Very cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy it all came together, to be honest. There was like maybe like 1 to 3 picks that I was like, I think Richard came back to me afterwards and he was like, "So, why didn't you take this card? Like, with some of
Did
the
he
draft
really?
log?" Well, I mean, everyone was asking me like, "Why the hell did you take the stupid mythic sword, sword of the meek? Is
Oh
that what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called?"
Meek, yeah, sort of thing. Well, you had guys that made 1/1s. It kind of made sense.
No, so I had no ways to get the sword in the graveyard though. I thought
Hmm.
I don't know why. I thought the sword equipped itself. I've still never played with it. I draft it all the time. I read it and I go, "Yep, this thing is going to absolutely catch people off guard." And I forget it only brings itself back to the graveyard to re-equip, but it doesn't re-equip when they just come in. So I was like, you know what? Card's trash. Yeah, I should have picked up the Falcon mechanic right there. But the Rose Thorn Halberd definitely did what I wanted, the sword to do.
Yeah, that card you made look great. That I mean, like your flyers got through. There were a lot of problems for a lot of what looked like really strong decks. Your rares, your C double, just like playing against Garuda. Well, now you got your own Garuda. Like it made your cards as good as your opponents, which was kind of clutch in every game.
Yeah, I C double was probably a house. The weird thing is I think I saw pretty much the same 20 cards almost every single game.
I feel like there was a lot of cards in your deck you didn't see at all. It was one of
Yeah.
those things where you just weren't kind of drawing the filler, and I mean, you were running hot, man. You really were.
I mean, like
Not,
I never saw Neshoba Brawler. I would have loved to just jam that on too.
yep, yep. I mean, and it was such a funny thing because you don't think of like Simic aggro, but man, every game you were swinging and turning cards sideways. You were flipping that Pyrulia battle, making that thing look like it was just like one of the best cards ever made. Um, and your deck just, I mean, it really, really performed, and you got the W, straight hands, as you said.
Straight hands, my boy, straight hands.
Compared to your Lord of the Rings deck, which one did you like more, this one or that one?
They both have a special place in my heart, but I think that Lord of the Rings deck, I'm not sure if my Simic Aggro deck could take on Sawyer's Lord of the Rings final deck,
Uh-huh.
but I'm positive my Lord of the Rings deck could probably go toe to toe with most other decks and most other formats and do pretty fine. Just because of like so many things that were going on in the Bowmaster and the
Yes.
double Arwins, the life gain. Like there's just a lot going on with that deck. So many possibilities. Where the Simic Aggro is like, listen, I'm just doing one thing. I'm going to try and do it as well as possible.
You did it as well as you could both times, back to back wins. Basically, the Player of the Year tournaments in the middle doesn't really count as a standard league. So you won the last league of the last set and the first league of this set. And the league needs to know because he keeps mentioning it. I'm mentioning it. It's the hottest buzzword on the server. What does straight hands mean?
John, nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. We'll leave it at that. When Adam posted, I was like, you know what? I should have never said anything. If you want to know, it's on the side server. But let's just keep provocative for now, right? It means whatever you want it to mean.
Straight hands means what you want it to mean. So you were in Ixalan. You decided to take a break. Was Player of the Year, the standings in it, was that all that kept you from it? Were you just not feeling it after watching some games, or what kept you out of Ixalan League?
So I've been wanting to take a break for a while. I'd say this every single league. I want to take a break. I want to take a break. I want to take a break. I want to take a break.
Sure.
And then I don't know. Like I think I was sitting down drafting with Rich, and before I knew it, my hands just signed up for Ixalan League. I was like, I don't want to miss out. FOMO just completely took over. So I signed up for the Ixalan League, and the pools get rolled. I'm like, all right, cool. We got a Vono. We got some cool stuff going on. I made a deck. I didn't save it. So I remade another deck the next day. I didn't save it. And I'm like, man, I just really don't feel like remaking a deck. Like, I don't even want to play this format. I just don't like Ixalan as a set. It's disgusting. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a way I can like drop and not have it affect my standings. And so when I asked on the side server, Adam said, ask them, the committee. And so I asked the committee, it's a poor choice of words on my part because I would have never dropped had I known that they would just drop me and give me 6 losses. I would have just played it out at that point, right?
Yeah.
I would have taken a break either the next league or the league after that. But I was like, you know what? They've already dropped me. It's my own poor choice of words. Instead of saying, I think I was supposed to say something like, can I be dropped or can I be expunged or whatever someone said. Like, can it not affect my standings for potty status? But
yes,
it is what it is. I always say, like, Justin takes a break. I think at least last year he was taking breaks every 3-week league. And I was like, I should take a break every once in a while in a 3-week league. I do poorly in them anyway. It's a good chance to like reset, work out, get my nights back.
Yeah, don't be afraid to take a break. People do it all the time. I know Richard takes breaks. I know Jeremy's sitting out a few. Like, don't be afraid to leave. We'll be here when you're ready to play more Magic. And as a winner, you're qualified for Player of the Year, so you could even sit out. Poof, you could sit out the whole year and still come back and blow everybody's minds.
I listen. I I like playing Magic too much. That's why the FOMO kicks in as it is. It's like I always say if there was an F&M every single night in my area, I'd probably be nonstop F&M drafting every single day.
Oh, isn't that just the dream? Just drafting Rakdos every night, running a bunch of kids who don't know what they're doing over. Oh. Well, Ref, we asked the league questions, and they don't disappoint as usual. Our first question comes from Kevin I, Kani 1993. He wants to know, are you really winning these tournaments, or are you getting help from Smaff-IL?
So, Kevin, you might not know this. Kevin's not a new player, is he?
No, Kevin's been around.
So, I typically play like the league myself. And then if I do make the top 8, I do have a long existing contract with our most winningest player on the server to play my top 8s out. And that's all I can say for now.
Mm-hmm. Who is our most winningest player on the server right now? Is Jordan?
I don't believe it's the most winningest player. It would be who do you think is the best player on our server?
Oh, that's two. I can't do that. I can't. Do that. I can't. There's like a top 10, but to say who's number one, I mean it changes so much. It's hard to say it's not Richard right now, right? Coming off Player of the Year. Like, oh man, Richard's was on a tear and then did really
You'll
well.
Notice me and one other player have never been in a mega draft together at the same time ever.
Oh,
might rhyme with schmacks me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I did just think, oh, it could be Maxine.
I've always joked for years though, because when I was winning the side events, everyone was like, "Man, like, how are you doing this?" And I was like, "I just draft the decks, and Maxime just takes over from there. The man can just play whatever he wants and win."
Maxime's awesome. Maxime gave me some. I think the best deck building best I've gotten in a long time on my Ixalan pool. And yeah, Maxime's good. Maxime's
Did it work out?
Yeah, dude's still alive. I've ascended. I've made it to week 3. I'm not like, top. I probably won't be in top 8 by the time the weekends, but I'm in it. A good week here. We could do it.
You went what 4-1, right?
I went 4-1 this week. Yeah, 2-3 week 1, 4-1. Currently at 6-4. I think I'm in the top 8. And I've got good tie breaks. I've got real good tie breaks.
Listen, I'm rooting for you. I'm not rooting for you to win though, because you can't get to 3 before I get to 3.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. You're right now. You got to year 2 a lot faster than I got to my 2. I mean,
a lot of luck, man. A lot of luck. I'll take it.
There's a lot of luck. Our next question comes from Jack H. Rakic, past guest on the show. He'd like to know, first of all, congratulations with straight woe packs. You did a great job. His questions are, how does it feel being the best Magic player in the universe? Okay, big accolades here from Rakic. Don't know what you gave him to make him say that. And to what do you attribute your success to?
Man, sheesh, best player in the universe. I think the guys at my locals that constantly trash me, they would have some words. Raph, best player in the universe.
Well, are those guys 2-time league winners? I mean, do they get emotes? Those guys don't have emotes.
I tell them that all the time. What's the second part again?
What do you attribute your success to, man? You really have been. I mean, you came into the server. Was it Brawl? Was that your first league? That's where you. No, you came into the family league, right?
Yeah, SNC.
And I mean, you really made a name for yourself quick, and here you are taking down back-to-back leagues. You do really well a lot. What do you attribute your success to?
It's hard. I would probably just say I play a bunch, right? And like same thing I told you, like I think on a previous podcast, I've played so many card games, I've played so many board games. I am just a naturally competitive person, and I just want to win by any means possible.
You still play the Yu-Gi-Oh and the Pokemon? Are you playing the One Piece game?
No, I heard One Piece is absolutely blowing up, but it's too expensive. Like I just can't really like. I can't see myself.
You do Lorcana?
Nah. I think Lorcana's gonna die. like I want to get into it, but I don't know if Disney's going to support it long term, like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Now that Magic's getting Marvel Disney properties, who knows? You know.
I've been hedging my bet in Flesh and Blood though. That's kind of where I've been like spending like my other
Yeah.
half of like my cardboard gaming. But really, like I just actually success is just playing a wide variety of just different competitive games and consistently just being like, if I'm not like really good, it's just good enough, good enough.
So last time you came on, you compared like you broke down Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh in like comparisons of Magic cards. Well, how is Flesh and Blood? Because I know it's coming on. Like I see it at these events I go to, but I don't know anything about it. What's it like compared to all these other card games?
I would say fast paced, lots of thinking, and it's really tempo based. It's been like probably like 5 months since I've played in their Blitz armor events. But
Uh-huh.
you get a hand of five, I get a hand of five. One player starts as the turn player, and then on the top right, your cards have a cost between 0, 1, 2, and 3, and then
Hmm.
I forget how they determine. I have some cards over here. They have dots that determine if you pitch them as a cost, how much that pitch will give for the card you're playing. Some cards might have like 2 pips. So let's say it's 2 mana. So you pitch it from your hand to cast another card. So if you're the turn player, you're the first person on tempo. So you're pretty much going to lay out some attacks. Like I'll pitch this, play this card. It'll deal 3 damage if it goes through. Do you respond? You go, nah, it goes back to me. I go, I'll pitch this. I'll play this. Will you respond? You go, hey, you know what? I'll use my legs. I'll break off whatever it is. Put my legs as a blocker to save myself from 1 damage. Turn ends. I take whatever damage. And then we both redraw back up. No, we pitch our hands, I believe, and redraw back up to 5. And every hero kind of plays a bit differently. Like I haven't gotten back into it because they're in their CC season, which is pretty much like playing 60 card constructed versus playing, I don't know, like a 40 card deck.
Sure.
Blitz is way faster. Blitz is like 20 life. I think CC is like 60. I just don't want to play 60 card formats. I want to play the Blitz format. So I'm waiting for that to come back around. And then I'll hop back out my Kasai deck.
Interesting. Very
I'll have to
interesting.
relearn though. I probably explained it really bad, but I guarantee if you sit down with someone that knows it, like just pick up some welcome decks. It's just very fast paced. So there's always something going on back and forth. You're never just sitting there looking at your opponent like, all right, what does he have in hand? Like, does he have a counter? Can I play this for free? No, you're always playing stuff back and forth and responding accordingly.
Interesting. Cool. I'd love to check it out. And our next question comes from Damien, Butt Crack Magic, big fan. Damien wants to know, do you attribute your success to your good attitude? How important do you think being positive and happy makes you in a high variance card game? You are known for always kind of laughing off things, never really seem to get too tilted or too negative. Does that help you out here in this frustrating game that we play?
I think so 100%. So I mean, like you can take just good attitude into anything in life, right? Like I had this job with what's this place called? Renewal by Anderson, a Windows company, right? And their number
Sure.
one salesperson, like when I first got the job, like I kid you not, they were like, his test scores came back. Would you fucking believe it? He's the fucking same as Shannon. And I was like, who the fuck is Shannon? And
Yeah.
like they're
Big
pretty much
dog.
letting me know
Shannon's a big dog. I
yeah,
can tell.
Shannon's been there 30 years, makes the most amount of money, millions of dollars a year. Like, dude's just got the gift of gab. He's got a great attitude.
Yeah.
And they were like, bro, like, your test scores came back and we expect you to, give the same results as Shannon, or Shannon with the can, as I call him. And Shannon, I always ask him all the time, like, Shannon, how do you do so well? And Shannon goes, well, number one, Raph, I always come with, what do you call that? A thing of gratitude. I forget the word before that.
Sure.
But he's always like, gracious for the customer. He's always just thinking of ways to get the sale, kind of like in Magic. You're always thinking of ways to end the game. If anything doesn't always go his way, he still keeps a positive attitude and tries to spin it to his side. If it doesn't go the way he wants, he reviews that meeting because he records everything and then re-goes through everything afterwards to figure out how he should make sure it doesn't happen again. And I take all that stuff into Magic. I take it into life, my relationships. There's really no point of dwelling on anything bad, especially in Magic, right? Like bad hands happen. First thing you got to realize is, was it the hand or was it me? Like I think in one league, right, when I kept that I kept the one lander versus Cody. game one, and I absolutely got crushed for it. But instead of going, you know what, bro, you're an idiot. You should never done that. No, it was a risk I was willing to take and see through. Like,
Yeah.
I had three cards I could play on turn one. It didn't work out. I didn't draw any more lands from there. That's just very terrible variance. And I'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
So you just
That's the
wash it
game.
out of your mind and you go to the next game and you go, hey, you know what? If I just get a decent hand, give me something workable. We'll go from here. Sometimes the hand's a little tough. Sometimes you got to play a bit defense longer than you want to until that time you can turn the corner. And it's when, like, at what point do you turn that corner? As Jeremy says, am I the beatdown?
Hey, Jeremy, post that article. That's
Yeah.
does get the dust off the tablet and post that to the server.
But I would say you got to have a good attitude towards the game, though, 100%. If a bad game happens, you have a bad league. Like, I've had terrible leagues. Remember the league where you actually destroyed me in Bro League?
Sure, I do.
I think we made a bet on a podcast, and then you proceeded to beat me, I think.
I wouldn't say I destroyed you. We played a feature match. No. The feature match you won, but then you had to pay. You had to buy my league entry back in.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was supposed to be loser pays that winner.
hey, you said what you said, and you did what you did, and it's hard to argue against the positive mental attitude not working out for you, being a back-to-back league winner. Any idea what the emotes are going to be? Any of these emotes ever going to happen?
Listen, I'm not sure. I really want the emote to be good, and like same thing I said last time. I want it to be an emote that can't just like easily get recreated.
Here's my cool idea for you that I wanted to do for Team League, but I think it was too hard. Since you have two, you do two different things that work when they're together. Like half of something's on one, half of something's on the other, and then boom, boom, you use up both emotes, but you get a super emote. You have two emotes that can be combined into one.
Are you sending me signals here, John? I keep seeing your fists, like straight hands.
Well, it could be straight hands. It could be
maybe I should do like a horse and like a straight hands.
Horse. Oh, that horse. That horse. Raph, before we let you go, we got to see if you can make it through Steve Stumper.
Steve Stumpers.
I'm just a puzzle guy.
And Steve, he's got a good one for you. I failed it. Let's see if you do. Austin is at 6 life, and Nora is at 1. Austin casts Lava Spike targeting Nora. Nora casts Sea Double to copy the burn spell targeting the opponent and copying Nora's Witherbloom Apprentice. Witherbloom Apprentice does say if they cast a spell, take a damage. If the spells and abilities resolve, who wins?
So I gotta remember, Witherbloom says when the spell is cast, right? It does the effect.
Yes, I believe. I'll double check because Steve's always good about tagging the cards. And Sea Double, of course, the card that you had, the bomb rare that helped you through the mega draft. You just saw that card over and over again. Witherbloom Apprentice Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life.
And Austin is casting the Lava Spike at Nora?
Yep. And Nora's at 1. Austin
has
6.
the original Witherbloom, right?
Nora has the Witherbloom.
Okay.
I love it. You didn't even read this once before the show, did you? I can tell you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I've been at work all day. I'm trying to think in my head. All right. So Lava Spike casts Nora. Nora is Witherbloom. Nora casts
Sea Double.
Copying, and then also making a copy of the Apprentice, resolves backwards. Apprentice comes in. See, my only question is, I would think Austin wins, and I might have this completely wrong. I don't know if Witherbloom sees the cast on the copy.
The cast of what copy?
Sea Double or the Lava Spike.
So what is your final answer?
I'm saying Nora's dead.
Nora's dead. Ding, 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 ding. Raph, you got there. You stumbled into it. So
What's the whole reasoning, though? Did Steve give you the whole entire thing?
I have the reasoning from Steve. Austin wins. The Witherbloom Apprentice drains twice. First for Sea Double being cast, and second for Lava Spike being copied. But when Sea Double resolves, its instructions are followed in the printed order. So Lava Spike is copied first, then you get the Witherbloom Apprentice. So you don't get the second ping from the second Witherbloom. So Austin goes to 1 and Nora gets taken down to 0.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's cards resolve in the order they're printed. He had a similar question, I think, with Merciless Eviction, which was like about how it exiled different things. So, yeah, I'm sure I'll forget about it when I actually have to use it. But yeah,
I'll probably remember it. It's certain weird stuff like that I don't forget. Like, for example, let's say I use Decadent Dragon on you, right? And I use the adventure side to steal 2 of your cards and put them in exile.
Yep.
And one of your cards is an adventure. So let's say I cast the adventure side of your card. Does it go to my exile?
I think it goes to your exile.
Yeah, that was one of the like ruling questions we had over the weekend. And I was like, I don't think I've ever stolen someone's adventure card, but I would think they would just, it doesn't go back to the owner.
I can see, because I think I had that same question, and I was just like, I don't know, I guess I'll just cast it and see what happens, and I got to cast it, so that's how I know, because I did the experiment. But yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of weird corner cases in Magic. There's a big talk of, instant speed spells in WoW, right? It's like Johan can cast instant or sorcery spells from the top, but he can still cast the adventure side, right? Even though it's not an instant or sorcery spell. I don't know. Wording is weird and Magic is hard.
Is Johan worded that way?
I think so, or he's maybe I'm forgetting it, and something
allowed.
else is worded that way. There was like a whole discussion early on in WoW about cards with the wording of like things that they could or couldn't cast that were instants and sorceries, and the phrasing was if it doesn't say instant or sorcery card, you can do it. So if it said like cast your instant from top of your deck, it's an adventure, you can cast it.
I do remember this conversation.
Cast instant card on top of your deck, you cannot cast the adventure.
Interesting. I'm gonna forget that next league.
Yep,
we're gonna be like, so does this card work this way?
I'll get ready for new. So you didn't want to play in this Ixalan. You coming back for big Ixalan?
Yeah, I think it'll be more fun, and that's just because the design space is a lot better in Magic. Like going back to what Dominaria after Ixalan, it was fun for its time, but I think that's one of like, in my mind, I don't think it's as goated as people say it is. There's a lot of like trash in that format that I don't like playing around with.
Yeah, I will say I wasn't a big fan of Ixalan, but I am enjoying this remaster, and maybe it's just been it's been years since I've played it, so I'm ready for like a step back to take a breath where everything's not crazy, where like Colossal Dreadmaw like as tough as it gets.
I mean, I think they did a really good job with the curated list.
Yeah, I think they've done that great. Like, and I like the mechanic too. I think they did a lot of great things with this one, even if it is like, Ixalan. Like it's fun. I don't know. It's fun for Ixalan. And I say that as someone who wasn't into Ixalan last time I was there.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly why I signed up. I was like, I don't know, some of the cards are pretty cool, like the 2-drop red dude that copies spells.
Oh yeah, Fleetfoot something. He's
yeah,
very good.
You got the card everyone keeps talking about that steals a card and
Hostage Taker.
Oh
I got one of those, and I got a bunch of bounce spells, so I've been playing it. I'm bouncing it back. I'm getting it back from the graveyard.
See, that's just mean. That's mean.
Hey, that's how you go 4-1, buddy.
I mean, like I said, I believe there's some like really cool lines you can take in this format. I wish I would have stayed in. Like I said, I would have never dropped if I would have known it was going to be a 0-6. I would have just played it out.
Well, also, I mean, if you knew you were going to win,
Remember,
win the tournament,
I
and then
didn't
like
drop
the stakes were totally like nothing. Like you would probably, not care who. Maybe you still would have done it. I don't know.
Well, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't drop for the potty. I was just curious because I was going to drop anyway. I was just curious if I can drop and not have it affect cumulative. Because if I'm correct, I only qualified. Well, I won, but if I didn't win, I would have qualified last year based on number of wins I got throughout the year.
That's right.
I was like, I'm just curious. Plus, there was the other thing that's like your win percentage throughout the year, right? Like the most winningest players.
Yes. The various things that they use to get us in, and there could be more this year, but they still don't know, what all the qualifications are to get in. So there could even be other things that we don't know yet.
Oh, I'm positive. After what they said last year, I'm excited to see what other ways people can qualify this year.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. I mean, Steve already qualified in the decathlon, I think.
Yes.
Super cool.
I mean,
Lost,
Steve was a
lost, to,
menace.
lost to Steve in the finals, so Steve could get in. Way to go, Steve. Now you're stumping guests on my show.
I think I lost Steve. I lost to him week 1 or week 2 of the finals event. Like no,
His
it was the
deck was
second
gross.
match. It was just this. I thought my deck was like absolutely nutty. When Steve comes in, he was playing what, Tempo Flyers again, right?
Tempo Flyers. He's got like I want to say he's got the Valkyrie. He had a bunch of bonkers stuff. His
Listen,
deck was
man.
wild.
Old man, hand of the sky. I lost 2 times to Tempo Flyers. And it was both Steve.
Steve's, I think Steve's good at what he does. Steve pushes damage and Steve stumps you.
I just envision Steve just like with an abacus, like just calculate, every small little detail. Like, okay, all right, this game will go about 15 turns. Turn 8, I'll have about 5 lands on average.
Mr. Mathematics. Oh. Well, Raph, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and again, congratulate you for your Wilds of Eldraine League. I'm looking forward to see what emote you come up with, and I'm looking forward to playing against you again when you come back in Ixalan League.
Just know, John, next time I see you, right? You know what it is, right?
What?
Straight hands.
Straight hands, everybody. You heard it there. 2-timer, straight hands. What can you say about Raph that hasn't been said? He is just a great player, right? Man, this guy he's having a little moment. He's having a little moment here on the server. And, man, good player, nice guy, funny guy, but polarizing. Whether you like Raph or not, some people do, some people don't. Remember when Rocket came on the show, he said, at first I really didn't like that guy. Got to know him, started to like him. I think that's a good interpretation of Raphael F. Prudent. Hey, Raph, thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for beating me so bad all the time, because I feel like my record against you is very, very bad. And we can't just end the show this week. We do have to say goodbye to some people who, they have ascended, but they have ascended to a different place. Let's go ahead and ascend.
I will ascend! The universe will marvel to see the ultimate Saiyan potential once again realized. And I will be legendary.
That's right. Not everyone can make it through all the way to the end, and these are the players who we lost this week. Eric S., Smite. Wyatt C., Hot Dolphin. Dustin D., Balloon. Richard K., Preacher. Jondrian J., Jondrian. John R., Ged. Nick S., Najisi. Paul G., The Dragon. Damian S., Butt Crack Magic. Sylvain T., Equidos. Chris H., Facebeard McBeard. Ryan D., The Slickness. Chris P., Joker 01. Robert M., Laugh It Up. And then a couple people that dropped. And we don't read the names of the people who dropped, so we won't be reading Jeremy E. Lorgoif or Raphael F. Prudent. You both dropped. You don't get your name read. You didn't play. And that's going to do it for the show this week. I hope everyone is enjoying Ixalan League. We're wrapping it up. And then we're going to play another Ixalan League right after this one, but it's a different Ixalan. Instead of ascending, we are descending. We're going under the ground into the caves. I haven't looked at many spoilers. I don't know much about the mechanics. But people are excited. People say it's a powerful set. People say it looks like it could be a lot of fun. So I'm excited for it. Once it all comes out, I'm sure we'll be getting some news about what the league committee plans to do for the rules around this one. I can't wait to see what it is. And I hope you can't wait to see what it is. Especially when you get to keep a good 7, right? Because when we get to that new league, or even here in Ixalan, adding all these rares to your pool, if you're not getting a good 7, you're just not going to get to play the game, and it's not going to get to be very fun. And on top of keeping a good 7, there's more to it than just that, right? You can't just keep a good 7. You need the shuffler to be in your favor. You need a little luck. And if you watch Raph's Mega Draft, boy, was that guy just running hot through the whole thing. Always had the good cards in his hand. Always had his bomb rares. Didn't draw through a lot of the filler. Raph really played great. But, the shuffler was in his favor this weekend. And if you don't believe me, go watch the games I commentated on, because I commentated on all of them. It was a lot of fun. I don't do that stuff a lot, but Richard was playing in it, so no one else had any plans to do it. I threw my hat in, and they said, sure, do it. I did it with Adam. It was fun. Go watch that video. And that's going to do it for the show this week. Until next week, we'll see everyone then. Bye, everybody.
We can say we tied Daniel for consecutive league wins, and now I can say I'm a 4-time top 8, 2-time league winner, 1-time potty qualifier.